I saw a big bulletin in the hallway at the Lynn campus of that, yes. And it was asking for submissions.
I saw the advertisement for it, and I always enjoyed writing and photography and art, so I thought it'd be a good fit for me to send something in.
Spark, for me, it was just a great way to get out there and show people my work. When it's your own work, you're being so critical on it, and you're just like, oh my God, why am I even doing this? Or you want to like throw up as you're submitting it. You're like, oh my God, they're going to think this is crazy. Why am I putting that in there? But then, you know, when people come up, you're like, oh, so it is good. It's like a reassurance to yourself.
You know, if you're passionate about your writing and you believe in yourself, submit it and, see where it'll take you.
Oh, definitely do it. I mean, it can't hurt to submit. It's definitely worth submitting work if you have something you're proud of.
Go ahead, do it. It's an experiment. Try it. When in your life will you get a chance to do this? There's no entry fee. Out there are entry fees, so this is a fun time to experiment. You don't have to put in form, even though that's something that I like, and I chose. You can do conceptual work, free form, anything, fiction, any art that you want to do, anything that you want to experiment with. This is the time to do it. And see if you would like to do more. You might find the inner poet that you didn't know was in there.
I didn't really think that anybody would read my poems, even though they're in a literary magazine, which is kind of weird. I was like, I'm not really going to hear about it, but it is there, and they knew that I submitted. But I did have one person come up to me, and they said, I really liked that poem that you wrote about this. That was a really good poem. And it was so weird to hear somebody who's also somebody who's artistic, another student at the college, appreciated my artwork.
I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of the authors that I read from because they're able to put something poetic into words. It's almost like a song without music.
I really like the 60s. The watercolors I did was Audrey Hepburn and the Beatles, so that really inspires me, that era. It's really the pop culture of it. And then Fenway Park, I was just there, and who doesn't love Boston?
I've just totally fallen in love with writing since I've been at North Shore, and all the professors have been so supportive and encouraging, and there's just been so many doors that has opened up for me since I've gone to school there. So the poem is really mostly about different things that I've gone through in life and how I've overcome it, and certain times when, and I think everybody can relate to, things when you're going through that are, at difficult times, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, you just find yourself like, how do I go on from here? And sometimes life just picks you up and just continues you on your path, even if you think that you can't do it.
I've just had some great experiences here at North Shore. This past semester, I submitted some works to Spark Magazine. I think I submitted 4 works, and 2 of them were chosen. One of them is colored pencil and ink, and that's like an underwater scene with some abstract fish. And the other one was the final assignment for the Adobe Illustrator class, and it's basically a zoo poster for the San Diego Zoo, and that is done completely in Adobe Illustrator. So there's a big difference between the 2 mediums, but it's great to be able to use both of them. It's really hard to sometimes make a career in the art field if you don't have a direction to go in. So now that I'm taking the digital graphic design courses, it's really helping me focus on which direction I want to go with my artwork.
I think it's great when you have a poem and somebody reads it and they like it. They have this wonderful, visceral response. And that's the kind of poetry I like best. I was fortunate enough to have 2 pieces published. One which is a very classic form, a sonnet, and then another is a less classic, it's a stuckist form, a non-conceptual piece. It's really focused on technique and recuperative lines.
I didn't think anybody would be able to connect with my writing. I thought that my writing was weird thought that maybe it was too extreme or too emotional. Then when I started reading a lot of other people's submissions, poetries, short stories, I realized that that wasn't the case at all. And I actually feel like I fit right in now that I submitted. So I'm actually very happy that I did it.
It's nice if like even just a couple people can identify or like enjoy what I've written, and that's what matters. Yeah, I mean, Spark encouraged me again. It feels like I can actually do something with it. When I write it down, it feels like I have to write it down. I just have things that just like fly into my head, and I'm like, oh, that's really good. And I gotta get it on paper. It's like, even if I find like a napkin somewhere, like I have to get it down before I forget it.
Stick to what you like. Don't try to please other people, or just if you like it and it makes you happy, go with it, because that's important in the end, I guess. Don't try to. A lot of people, I feel like, make art to what they think people want to see, or they write based on what people want to read, but it's what's inside of you. So I think definitely to find a mentor, whether it's a teacher or someone that you relate to. That's like, I had an English teacher and a composition teacher that always kind of read my work over and gave me feedback and helped me, improve. So definitely find someone that you can always go to and look over your stuff and see what they think about it. And keep with it, never give up. Keep striving.
Well, you have to be brave. You have to take a chance. If you're an artist, a writer, a poet, photographer, whatever kind of artist, you should submit and take your chances.
You'll be surprised, like the outpouring of people that are supportive and will come up to you and say, that really meant a lot to me, or that was awesome, or that was so cool, and they want to know more, about what the piece was about, or about your experience and what, inspired it.
So I'd say if you have an idea for something, you might like to explore some art, go for it. Why not? And especially as a student, this is the time. I think it's a great experience to go through the process of putting together something that you like, feel what it feels like to submit it, and just go with what happens. And you may even get published.
I think it makes you feel less alone when you can relate to somebody's art. I don't think it's ever easy to put out in the world something that's so personal, like art or writing. There will be somebody out there that will connect with your creativity. I think any kind of art, whether it's like visual or writing, I think it's a feeling before it becomes art. So if you have that feeling, chances are somebody else is going to have that feeling too, and they're going to appreciate your artwork.
I doubt a lot of things that I do is being good enough, but like I like what I do. I enjoy it, and I'm proud of it.
I was proud to be a part of it and have my work in the Spark magazine.
Why not? You've got nothing to lose.
You're helping other people by putting it out there, just by seeing, your art or your words or your poetry or your story. It moves them.
Write about what you know.
Definitely submit to the next Spark.
Oh, I hope they pick me.